In this video, we're going to show you how to fill out the academic history of the UC application. On this introduction screen, you just want to go ahead and click on Continue. And here you will see the option to import any data you have from your TAP account if you have one. So if you're a student who created a TAP account, perhaps to apply for a tag, here you have the option to input your information, so just your email address and your TAP login ID, and you can click on Import Data from TAP, and all of the courses that you inputted into that application will be then put into this current application. If, however, you did not ever create a TAP account, you can just leave this blank and save and continue. Next, you will have to provide information for the last high school that you attended. So again, you want to click on the option that pertains to you. And please note that if for any reason you search for a school and you cannot find it, you always have the option to just manually enter in that information. So even if it's not searchable, please make sure to input all the information in manually. So I'm going to cancel. Let's put in that we attended Irvine. Again, in most cases, you should be able to find what you're looking for. And here you will have to provide information about the dates that you attended this school. If you received a high school diploma, an IB diploma, GED, or perhaps other, like the California High School Proficiency Exam or CHESP, you just want to select that option. If you did not graduate high school, then you can just leave it as none, because please note you are not required to have a high school diploma as a transfer student. If you do, however, you just want to indicate when you received that diploma. And you also have to tell them whether or not you did any of your high school outside of the US. If so, you have to include which language you were instructed in that school. You want to confirm all this information is correct. And once you do that, we're going to continue. Now, colleges, you're actually going to include all of the colleges you attended. So this includes community colleges in California, universities in California, as well as any out-of-state schools and schools that were taken outside of the US. So everything that you did beyond high school has to be included here, even if you think that it's going to ruin your chances for admission. Because please note that providing incomplete or incorrect information may jeopardize your UC admission or enrollment. So we're going to start off by adding a college. And just like with the high schools, if you cannot find your college by searching for it, you always have the option to add it in manually. So in our case, we're just going to type in Irvine Valley, select the school. And now you have to look on your transcript to make sure that you're putting in all the dates that you attended correctly. So if I started in spring of 2019, I would put that there. And if I plan on taking classes through next semester, I want to make sure that I'm including that as well. Then you want to indicate if it's your most recent college or not. You can't change the grading system, so just leave that there. And then you want to indicate whether or not the college's term system changed while you were attending. In most cases, that's going to be a no. Irvine Valley's system is a semester system. We do not offer a winter session. And then you want to, again, look at your transcript and make sure that you're marking all of the terms in which you have classes reported there. Anything that does not apply, you can uncheck. You also want to indicate whether or not you plan on getting an associate degree from here or an associate degree from transfer from here. Depending on what you select, you might be asked to provide more information. If you're not getting a degree, you just want to put no degree. Again, you want to make sure this information is correct. And then you want to add in any other college you attended. That does include Saddleback College. So again, they are a separate college. They have a separate transcript. You want to make sure that you are including them here as well. Once you've included all of your colleges, you're going to go to I finished adding colleges. And now you're going to have to look at your transcript to add in all of the courses that are on there for each term. So if we start with spring 2019, for example, I have this transcript that we can use. So let's say, again, the student took Math 8. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through this list, find Math, and select Math 8. Then I have to include the grade I received here. Now in this case, the student received an F, but then repeated it, which is notated by that repeat. Unfortunately, on the UC application, there is no way to put that a class was repeated. So you have to put the original grade, and what will happen is when someone goes in to evaluate it from the UC, they will look for those repeats, and if they see it was repeated for a better grade, they will then only count the better grade in the calculation. But that is not up to us to show them on the application, okay? So you do want to put the original grade. So we put the F, then there was music 40 with a grade of B. So we're gonna go in here, go to music, find music 40, and put the grade of B. Now you'll note that all these classes that are here in the dropdown are only transferable classes. So if I took a class that was non-transferable, I will have to type it in manually, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. Lastly, we're going to put in sign 22. So I'm going to select sign 22. Now here you will notice the student originally got a D, but they actually got academic renewal for that. Now in this case, we actually can show academic renewal by selecting AR from this dropdown. So please note the difference. If it has an R for repeat, you have to put the original grade. If it has the @ symbol for academic renewal, you can put AR instead of the D or whatever the original grade was, okay? If you're unsure about how to fill this out, there is a legend here that can show you how to fill out different grades. But the only one that you cannot indicate differently, again, is a repeat. That you have to keep as the original grade that's on your transcript. Now, say for example, this semester, I also took a trigonometry class. Because trigonometry is not UC transferable, I would not find it in that list of classes. So I would have to actually type it in manually, looking at my transcript, and add it that way. Oops. Okay. And you would do that for any non-transferable class. It has to be here because it is part of your college record. The only classes you won't be able to add here manually are going to be classes that are 0 units, like tutoring. If I try to add tutoring here, I will get an error that tells me I cannot add 0 unit classes here. So for that, you will have to add it into the comments, which I'll show you in a bit. But once you've added all your classes, you want to save and continue. And you're going to continue doing this for every single semester that you have on here, including your current classes as well as your planned classes in the spring. So once you've added all of your courses, including those you're taking now and in the next semester, you're going to continue. On this next screen, the application is looking to make sure you will have the minimum requirements for admission. So it will ask you if you will have satisfied the entry-level writing requirement prior to transfer. So in other words, will you have writing 1 and writing 2 complete? So you want to indicate yes. It also wants to know whether or not you will be certified for completing IGETC prior to transfer. So you want to indicate yes if you are, or no if you do not plan to be IGETC certified. Then here, it's looking to, again, further make sure you will have what we call the 7-course pattern. So your 2 English courses, your transferable math, and at least 4 different GEs. And so you'll see here that I put writing 2, but now it's asking, well, where is that 2nd English class? And so in this scenario, some people actually have AP English to count for one of their classes. So if you are in that situation, what you would want to do is put none planned, And then you'll see here that a note will come up saying you can use your AP to fulfill that class, but you have to enter that AP exam in your test score section. So you want to make sure that you are including all of your past AP exams into the test score section to ensure that it's counting here towards minimum requirements for admission. Okay. Then same thing for math. If you had AP statistics or AP calculus that you were using, if it gave you this option, you just want to put none planned or not completed. And then you will see here, if you have indicated different general ed, it will tell you that it looks like you have completed at least 4 of those classes. Now, this is only for California Community College students. If you have some of these classes completed at a university, then you're going to have to manually put this information in because it won't automatically recognize that those classes meet those requirements. If that's something you need help with, just meet with a counselor and we can help you with that. So you want to continue, and then you want to indicate whether or not you've ever been on academic probation. If you have at a school other than a UC, you want to click on yes and list which school you were on probation. The UC pathway is not really going to impact your admission. However, if you want to see which majors offer a pathway, you can go onto this website provided and see if yours has a pathway. If it doesn't, then you obviously know that you are not following a pathway and can leave this alone. If you are, you can see if you've completed those classes that are listed, and if you have, you can mark the pathway. But just keep in mind, this is not going to have any impact on your admission. The California State Student ID number is only a number that will be found on a California high school transcript. So if you happen to have that, you can enter it, but if you don't, or this doesn't apply to you, you can leave this blank because it is not required. And then lastly, the additional comments section is an opportunity for you to address things in your academic history that you maybe want to expand on. So this is where you can mention, I took that tutoring class in fall of 2020. It was 0 units, so I couldn't put it in my application. Or, this particular semester, you'll notice that I had, less than stellar grades, but this is what was happening. Maybe there are certain classes that we weren't offering at IVC, or the class you needed was canceled. If you repeated a class and you want to call their attention to it, this is the opportunity for you to do that. So please don't feel obligated to put anything here. If there's nothing you have to say, then leave it blank. But if you do want to address any of these things, this is the place to do that. You want to save. And then lastly, as always, you want to go in and review and make sure again that everything was inputted correctly. Because I can't stress this enough, UCs are going to use this self-report to make their decisions. If you put in things incorrectly, that may potentially impact your admission. Okay, so that is it for the academic history section. In our next video, we'll show you how to fill out the test score section.